Hello, this is Gerald van Was. In this video I will add an extra word. I will add an extra building up of a word that is building up further from what I already explained, and it goes further from the symbols that we already know, the words that we already know, the pronunciations that fit to it that we already know. Here I go to the next word, and that adds something extra. And that's Thai, or very simply said, the highest or most senior, things like that. I will explain that better in a couple of moments. So what did we already see? So I have here this symbol projected on the time frame, which it's, let's say it's 4 seasons. It's working field. And what do we recognize already? We have the line at the background is it could be the horizon, but it is actually associated with time. Let's say I associate it with the time frame context that there exists. And this context frame is for us in the Western language, that our starting point of 1 is a or a or I when we start with ourselves. In the Chinese basics, we have the time frame itself, which is 1, which is E or 1. This is a time frame in the background. That's one thing that I recognize. I also recognize the person there who is running in the system, the Zhen, the person who is active in this process. We already recognize these 2 characters that we learned before, and to associate it with English, I will explain the person as a running man, and E as the background associations of all the applications it can have in a time period. If you combine them, we already saw that as well, we have the character of Da, or big, because when a person is inserted, as you said, is inserted into this period and can live there in that full period, of course the things will become bigger. Well, it's just applicated in a period. It's not Da, but Ta. Ta is just the moment. It's there on a moment. You see that underneath, when a person is associated at a moment where it still has to perform its performance, it's associated as Ta. And you hear it already with Da. It's with the D. It's pressed into a time frame itself. It's part of the time frame itself. It becomes part of the time frame itself. It becomes bigger. That's the Da. Now, what do we have then if we compare these things, or what's the difference then? What's the addition then? What we have here? The addition is just one extra sign, which leaves that point, which I always say there are the results on the bottom. There starts the results, like after winter as well, I can say. There are the results, and I give it an extra push there. That's the E, let's say. That's the extra stimulus, the extra value that I give to actually the point of where normally the final results will appear after a whole process. Around underneath there will start the elements, the things themselves, neutralized and so on. It's neutralized, but we give it an extra push. Here, I add here summer, harvest, winter, spring, but we give it then this extra push into the new cycle, into the new working field, that we give it that extra value deliberately to a person, that's the thing, into a time period. Here's the order of the letters. First the time frame, then the person, and then the additional value that I give to it or him. In the old characters, you could already see, like you have here a person and he is given something extra. I don't really see what's in the middle there. I can't really distinct it very well, but he's giving extra values. He's giving the extras, as you can see there. How can we translate that to our mind in the West? First, I'll give an extra symbol. I found this extra image here on the internet. It shows that someone becomes more important. I don't know if it will be shown in the wider clothes. Probably it is. I don't know how you express that, but I will express it how we could understand it from the West. It's a bit like adding stripes. It's you give so much stripes that you give it an extra value. That's the kind of thing. It's the deliberately giving something extra to a person. So an extra value. That's why you say it's you make it the highest, the most senior. You give it something more, something in a way extreme as well, something extra. Some examples that are quite easy to understand then, if I repeat it. Tai. That's an extra polite thing to say. It's not just a female there. No, it's madam, or it's something extra given as a function to it. That you hear in this intention. I give it even that double intention that you're sure. Okay, that makes it also extra polite and extra. Polite then. Or I have here the Thai with Kong combined or with space. So when you have extra space, the puzzle is easy. If you have that extra space added to it, you come into the outer space. It's not just a space around you. It's the outer space. That is what is the reference to. Or with Thai and Duo, you have so it's more. So that means more. Duo. With Thai, it is more of. The extra of more. With extra more, it's of course too much. That's the association that you get in the end. It's already. It becomes already too much. Okay, so that was already clear for the Chinese script and the association with the letter association and so on. Now, but I will give you some extra association, which is the Japanese. They have that letter or that character as well. And you see it here written. I've found that also on that image on the internet. I have to. I will add the source there later. Futo is the word itself, and futoi is an application of that word, of that character. So it becomes more. It becomes also more in a person, but it's taken very literally. So that is a fat man or someone who is thick, and that extra is taken literally is quite funny actually if you see through that with the association of the English word thick. With thick, we have thick and thin, but with the CK, we give it an extra value into that space. Here we have the futoi, that is the big one, and hosoi, where the space is getting smaller in which this person fits. I could go deeper into this, but it could be confusing in the end. But I think it's quite funny to have thick here as an association as well. It's also one of these possibilities of associations when you only derive it back to the character itself. But the character in the sense of the time frame there, Thai is very understandable if you see that as a person. The extra in there, in the Thai frame, in that association, it becomes the word Thai. I found it quite funny actually, the English word thick, an extra association from here, going from also a point reference in space that looks inside with C, tries to estimate with K and judge in a way, because it questions what's going on here, shows its enlarged space from there, that it's thick. Oh, why Hoshoy starts from space, fits in this slender person who is thin, fits in its own space very well. Okay, sorry that I had these extras to it, but the bottom line of starting from Thai, from a person, associated with a person, that something extra was added, be it here with other sounds and other associations from onwards, going from the symbol or not. I hope anyhow that you realized how the signal of this symbol can work and how you can understand it, how it can show you any kind of enlargement of addition, and the word association itself, which is the extra that points you to the right direction. Thai, that shows you also, oh, I start from here. This is a starting point with T as well. This is a starting point of judgment, of orientation, where something starts. With Thai, it is A plus E plus the extra. I hope you can remember that easily from this point onwards. Anyhow, this was Gerald Jovan Books YouTube channel, Facebook channel. Thanks for watching. This was Gerald Jovan. There's a list of demonstrated words beneath. Thanks again. Bye.